Hello, my name is Coral from Zest Health. I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone for all that you're doing during this current crisis. I can't imagine how hard things are at the moment. Today, I'd like to help by talking to you about some of the foods and drinks that it's helpful to avoid or to limit, and those to focus on to support your health. So, some foods and drinks can really negatively impact on things like our quality of sleep, um, our energy levels, and how our body responds to stress. So one of the obvious ones is caffeine. And I know some of you may be using coffee to sort of get through your day. Everyone's affected by caffeine differently though, but if you are drinking a lot of coffee and you notice your sleep is being affected by it, then it's obviously definitely worth cutting down. You might also try not having any after a certain time in the day, or during your shift, whatever, because I know some people will be doing night shifts as well. It can also make things like cravings worse. So for some people, having coffee or tea can mean you will crave things like biscuits and cakes and chocolate more. So again, if that's something that you've noticed, then it's definitely worth either cutting down or eliminating caffeinated drinks for a while. And this is because you've got a physical reaction going on. It's not just the association of coffee with foods or tea, tea and biscuits type of thing. Caffeine raises your blood sugar levels, and it does throw your body into a stressed out response. And obviously this can just add to the stress that you may already be experiencing. And it elevates your heart rate as well, secreting adrenaline to give you that rush, which is obviously why a lot of people drink it to help them, especially if they're tired. Another one is alcohol. Now, I know some people might use alcohol to help them relax and to make them sleepy, but alcohol does affect the quality of your sleep. You don't get the deep, restful sleep with alcohol. So if you're using it to get to sleep and you're needing more and more, you'll find out you need sort of more and more to have the same effect. So and obviously there are potential health issues with drinking too much on a regular basis, and how you feel when you wake up. They can also affect your need to go for a wee in the night, in the middle of your sleep. So that can mean that you're not getting the restful sleep either, because they will encourage you to do that more than just standard water or non-caffeinated drinks and non-alcoholic drinks. Another one that's not so obvious is sugar. Sugar actually keeps your mind more active than you might want it to be. It can behave a bit like caffeine in your system. So foods like fruits and veggies are fine. It's the added sugar in a lot of foods that we really need to try and minimise. Relying on processed foods means that you don't get the nutrients you need, and often those have a lot of added sugar, as well as things like added salt and refined fats and things. There are various nutrients that we need for good sleep, and processed foods are generally devoid of those. And the more sugar you have, the more you want. It's because it's addictive, and having sugar too late at the end of your day can mean your sugar levels can then dip during your sleep and wake you up as well. Again, adding to a restless sleep. So the sort of things to focus on are real foods, real whole foods. So when I talk about whole foods, I'm talking about those that are minimally processed, or or completely whole. And the more you eat of those, the better. So some foods are known to encourage sleep because of the nutrients they contain, and they help to balance out your sugar levels and certain hormones as well. So that can help with the whole getting the right signals that you're hungry and you're full, and balancing your natural sleep cycle. So it's natural, during a normal day, say you're doing a day shift, during a normal day, it's natural for your sugar levels to go up and down, a bit like a roller coaster. And what we need to do is to try and even those out as much as possible, so you don't get those highs followed by the dips, which can give you a real slump in energy and concentration. Good foods to include are things like leafy greens. These are things like kale, spinach, carrots, Brussels sprouts, those types of foods, whole grains, and things like beans, chickpeas, lentils, veggies and fruit. These all contain fibre, which is really good for balancing your blood sugar levels. Particularly good are things like berries. They have the lower natural sugar content of all the fruits. Things like bananas, nuts and seeds, and tofu. You can buy it ready to eat. It's nice heated through, but a quick option is the marinated one. And one you might not expect is chocolate, but I'm not talking about the sugary milk chocolate, but a high quality dark chocolate, just not before you're due to go to sleep. If you're not used to dark chocolate, it can take your taste buds a bit of time to adjust, but it's a good way to wean yourself off ordinary chocolate. So by eating some of these foods, you're not putting your body under additional stress to the stress that you're obviously already going to be experiencing. So limiting the stress from foods can help you in some way. It also means you're less likely to wake in the night because your blood sugars are low. So as I say, we're trying to even out those peaks and troughs throughout the day and stop those sort of crashes. So try not to eat too near to going to sleep. If you do, your body is then busy digesting the food instead of sort of winding down to sleep, and you don't want to raise those blood sugar levels. And try not to drink fluids around 2 hours before going to bed, because that means you're less likely to need to go to the toilet in the night. But just make sure you've had plenty of fluids throughout your working day. And if you're feeling hungry, try a snack of some berries and nuts. Things like walnuts or seeds such as pumpkin, sunflower and sesame. You could also try a small smoothie made with some spinach, soya milk and some berries. Good options for tea are things like chamomile, which has a calming effect. And of course, the best laid plans can go astray. This is all about doing what you can, when you can, and it's what you do the majority of the time that really counts. So this isn't about being perfect. And it's completely understandable that if you're under a state of stress and you're very tired, that you're going to crave certain foods. So I just wanted you to know that it's a really natural thing to experience. And this is because when you're tired, your body is craving energy, which means its automatic thing is carbs. There are good slow release carbs, and then there are the carbs that come from sort of very refined foods. So your body your brain will just be telling you it wants carbs because it wants energy. So the important thing is for us to focus on the carbs that won't give us that roller coaster effect. And the thing around stress is when you're stressed, your body is basically in like a fight or flight survival mode. So your body thinks it's been fighting or it's been fleeing because it's stressed, and therefore it thinks it's being active, and that can increase your appetite. So again, when you're stressed, your body wants high energy foods. So it wants the refined sugary, things like biscuits, cakes, donuts, those types of foods. And if you've ever wanted chocolate when you're stressed, that's why. So it's a natural thing. So just to be aware of that and to focus on eating some of the foods that I've mentioned today. And as I say, the less of the sort of sugary foods that you have, the better, because the more you have, the more you want. So I really do hope you found that helpful. You can find me at the website address that will be with this video. I help people to lose weight and feel great on a plant-based diet, so they have more confidence and energy and can finally feel in control of their eating. Thanks very much for watching.